Well, welcome back. We're here for episode 7. And would you believe that it's been a whole month since the last time I got to play a game? That is sad. It's November 30th was when I left off with episode 6. And it is now a whole new year, January 2nd. Ain't that just crazy? And we've got a little bit of a problem here because I'm realizing as I'm playing this game that as much as I love old games, there's way too much grinding happening in this to really enthrall and excite me. There's so many other games that I have now that I'd love to be playing, and I feel almost obliged to finish this. So, if I recall correctly, I'd left off, I just acquired these new party members for the first time, so I haven't used them at all. They're all equipped. I remember to make sure that I bought healing herbs and whatnot, just in case there would be some horrible event like this where I wouldn't get to play for a month. Well, that's probably a habit I developed as a kid. Not so much that I get forced to go so often without playing, but in role-playing games back in the day where you have to grind, if you didn't make sure that you were ready to go when you started the system up, there was a very real chance that the very first fight you get into would screw you up. I love chiptune so much, though. There is definitely a charm to coming back to some of that stuff. My absence had some lovely stuff happen where went to the dentist. I'm gonna have to get a cavity filled, my very first cavity. I'm 29, got my very first cavity, and it's unfortunately in a spot that is trapped by my wisdom tooth. And in order to fill said cavity, I gotta get my wisdom tooth out. Yay! So that'll be happening this month. And so in the meantime, working on making some indie games, and that's honestly where a large part of my time is gone. And so the most recent thing that I've done, the reason I started thinking about all this, is because I was talking about how much I love chiptunes, and that's so completely true. Came up with what I hope is going to be the intro theme to the first game that I'm working on. I used Famatracker to do so, and I hope that's all as amazing as can be. It's fun getting back into that. It's been ages since I've felt like I've had time to do music. Played piano when I was a real odd. Transitioned into guitar at one point. 4 hit points, 6 magic, 6 IQ, 5 speed, yay! So, is this our first magic spell? So, Milo is my healer. I don't even know what my stuff is right now. I'm gonna leave that. Attack, and she can cast Slow and Blaze. May as well at least see what type of damage that does. 8 points of damage. I haven't really been paying attention. So he attacks 30, so her 8's still pretty shitty. I honestly have no idea what level I should be right now. My status. Yeah, so it's been ages since I've felt like I've had an excuse to do music. I kind of got out of it largely when I was in college because I felt like there's so much other stuff that I should be focusing on professionally. And then I didn't want to completely drop video games out, so, you know, some hobbies have to go. So it's been fantastic getting back into it. So what's her regular attacks like? 1. Okay, well. Her magic is 8 times more useful than her attack. So I did some stuff with Fruity Loops a little bit back when I was in high school, I believe. I tried coming up with some drum tracks. Tried covering some Megadeth. And so I'm a little bit familiar with tracking programs. Famitrack, oh yeah, and actually I got a Game Boy at one point, a couple years ago, and I was playing around with that for a little while bit, because I got one of those carts that you can put into the Game Boy, and then you can put Little Sound DJ on it. I bought that. Super cool program for doing chiptunes on the Game Boy. Not the world's best interface using a Game Boy. Rather time consuming. I'm not gonna get very far. And then I'm gonna have to back right back out of here. But yeah, getting into the Famitracker, it's actually a pretty good little interface. The thing that's weird is, I mean, I guess the thing that's cool is you're able to plug in a music keyboard, and I think it recognizes MIDI input. I don't actually have a keyboard, so what I'm using is I'm just using my typing keyboard, and that's weird. It's trickier for me to remember what keys do what on that, because it's not nearly as nicely laid out as it is on a piano with the black and white keys. But that's not too bad. Took me a while to feel like I was getting the hang of it. Part of it's because I was trying to do a tune that's not just a straightforward 4/4 time signature. Part of it's because I'm like so out of practice with music. Am I completely lost here? What's going on? Yeah, I'm pretty pleased. The one thing that I'm doing with this game project is I'm really trying to do time tracking to keep track of what's happening, how long it takes me to do everything. And so it took me 24 hours, which I guess, you know, that's 4 work days to come up with this. I don't know if that's good or bad. That's a lot. Whoa, that's a lot of slimes. A lot of slimes. So the cool thing is, I guess that means that so far I'm on schedule. Got one track done, and in the next month I'm gonna have to do a bunch of concept art, and in a way that's also gonna be weird because I've very lightly picked drawing back up this year, but fuck is this? The fuck? Whoa, that's weird. I had to use magic to see the effect of the weapon. I guess maybe... It's like the other Shining Force games, I guess, or even the Dragon Quest games. I guess what happens is I can get cursed. That probably reveals whether or not an item is cursed before you equip it. So I completely don't remember my way around this labyrinth at all, which is why I'm following the old tactic of just, when you're in a maze, keep going in one direction and eventually find your way through it. So I'm just sticking to the left here. It feels a little weird to not be like really talking about the game that much, but I mean, to be completely frank here, the game's pretty repetitive. There's not a whole lot about it to discuss that I haven't already mentioned. I'm at a point right now where I suspect I'm pretty much just going to be grinding to get these new characters leveled up and get them some equipment. But yeah, I was pretty much deciding, as I was hooking up my microphone and everything, preparing to do this, that yeah, don't really want to ever make a game that requires so much grinding. I stand victorious. So I'm curious how. That's weird. You can't like bring up a. You can't bring up that menu immediately after exiting a fight. You have to actually take a step first. So 67 experience. I'm curious how this game works. I guess it's a little hard to go back and double check now. I'm curious if you actually, the experience is divided amongst however many people. So 4 experience. Oh wait, it worked that time. So at least the math presented to me here is pretty straightforward. Okay, so this is the room that I was looking for. I suspect I'm gonna get to go through that There was like a box or something here that was all crazy and weird. I suspect... I remember getting some sort of an item, and I suspect that that item lets me go through this box now. Trapdoor, or whatever you want to call it. Sleep. I used to love RPGs so much, and I still do, but I love them a lot now for the story and these random encounters. The older I get, the more wearying it is to have to deal with this sort of stuff, because I'm not doing anything. You're watching this. I'm not doing anything other than just hammering on the action button. There's no strategy to this. Fuck. So... Am I wrong? Was I supposed... See, part of the problem is that I was actually experimenting with video settings, and I distinctly remembering going back to the castle and getting a key, but it's quite possible that I did that while experimenting with video settings and not in the actual game that I've been saving. So this whole mission, it's quite possible the only benefit that I'm getting out of this is leveling up. Which is fine, it has to happen, but I was also hoping that I was going to get to discover that's not true. There's two possibilities. I either didn't go and pick up that key, in which case you guys are probably, whoever's watching this is probably like, what the fuck, this guy's an asshole. I'm not watching the rest of his videos. Fuck! Or the key that I got just doesn't open up that door. That box, that whatever it is. Downside to playing a grindfest, forgetful role-playing game and taking a month off. It's disappointing to feel like I'm complaining and trash-talking the game, because, like I said, for its time, if I'd played this when it came out, it probably would have been awesome, and it's probably has done some great things that had never previously been done in a game that were inspiring. I know it certainly spawned off the Shining Force games, and for that, hats off to you, developers. Pyra is getting pretty low on health. detox. Looks like I'm gonna be able to eat healthy with that spell. I gotta get Milo and Pyre. I'm gonna have to get them some decent weapons. Okay, well, sleep operates on a group. That's cool. I wonder if Blaze does as well. No. Blaze is affecting one enemy. Yikes. Alright, I'm at a point now where I should probably try withdrawing. That's really depressing. I remember I'm pretty close. I know that I fought a boss. I remember fighting a boss. It was like a big ass crab or something. And I got the crown from that, and there was a door beyond the crab. So I'm curious, maybe if I do have this key. Maybe it opens that door. There's also a door like right near the very beginning of the labyrinth. So, it'd be nice to at least try those doors and figure out what's happening before I just completely head back to the start of this. So, if nothing else, what this video's done is you've learned more about the man. The man who's making this video. Oh, sweet. Cyrus just gained a level. So, where are you? Crabs. The tedium. Where are all these monsters coming from, man? I wonder what the game developers were thinking when they came up with random encounters. Were they... What is the canon of this world? Now, do the monsters literally completely emerge from nothingness when you're in a random encounter? Or is the idea that you're just like so blind you can't see them sneaking up on you? Ah, fuck. people actually watch this video. It's a little weird to be releasing these and not already having an audience of some sort. Can I? No, I can do nothing. There's a red wall, and that is it. If I recall correctly, there were some knights or something. I'm gonna be sad as crap if I've, like, literally not figured out anything. Yeah, I'm gonna be amazed if someday there's people actually who are watching all this stuff could manage to wade through all of my incomprehensible gibberish that I just yammer with no forethought whatsoever, and randomly get cut off as my brain deteriorates and thinks about random encounters. And I hope that these people watching this hear that random song that minutes ago I decided to sing along to, and they make a remix of that. That would make me happy. Die, monster. You don't belong in this world. Their IQ levels are going up, but I sort of feel like mine's going down. Okay. Nothing new from you. Door. Fuck. Okay, well. What is this spell? View? Ugh, fine. We'll use this item and we will retreat. And I am going to call that the end of this video. We're going to start up part 8 in just a moment.